Peace, peace. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? This is Devin. I'm back again. I just did a meditation on Instagram. Now I wanted to follow up with something that I've been meaning to do for a couple of days. Going live on Instagram, going live on YouTube. Shout out to everybody who watches this. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you watching and supporting the message. What I wanted to talk about was something that a friend of mine sent me. Actually, a few things a friend of mine sent me. He sent me my boy Stars. Salute the Star. If you watch this, Star, man, I did watch the video that you sent me. He sent me a video with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan discussing a situation in which there was a brother who was a member of the Nation of Islam that had been killed. And the minister was basically talking about how the individuals who hurt that person would have to pay. And not just the individual who hurt that person, but the state as well as the entire nation would have to pay. And I want that brings me to tonight's topic because I was trying to figure out how I could break it down and how I could discuss it because I told Star that I was going to break it down and discuss it in the live stream. And I'm thinking to myself, how can I discuss it and break it down when the minister broke it down already? He already discussed it and broke it down to the last molecule, but I wanted to just reiterate a couple of points. One thing I wanted to reiterate and talk about was you got to be careful of those who are in harmony with nature. Nature has rules and principles. Nature has laws, right? And those who defy the laws of nature they're gonna receive the wrath of nature. You understand, individuals who corrupt the water and pollute the water, they have to pay because our bodies need water to survive. So the corruption in the water goes into our bodies, creates chemical changes in our DNA. It's called epigenetics. Things in your environment change and unlock certain things in your DNA. So certain individuals will say, I have cancer. Cancer runs in my family. No, it's not the cancer running in your family. That is people working against the harmonious nature and principles and laws of nature. And that's affecting your DNA. They're growing food that's GMO, totally artificial. People are eating that. And then they're saying, well, diabetes runs in my family. High blood pressure runs in the family. No, you're eating food that has been programmed to go against the principles of nature. And you're putting it into your body. So now your body is at war and at conflict with nature. And when that happens, nature responds. You got to understand that nature, God, the universe, whatever terminology you want to use is irrelevant to me. Nature responds. You can't defy the laws of nature and expect not to be penalized and punished. So there are individuals on the planet right now. There are those who are following the laws and the principles of nature who are being terrorized and harassed by individuals who are representatives of darkness and chaos. In Gnosticism, they talk about how there is a true God, a true and living God, and they talk about that there's a demiurge. A demiurge is a false God, a fake God that created the world in which we live now. These principles are accurate. These individuals who are running the world now, they are the demiurge, creating an artificial environment in which they have created themselves or amplified themselves, aggrandized themselves to be gods. But they're false gods. They're psychopaths. They're egomaniacs. They're narcissists. They're mentally ill lunatics who are pedophiles and destroyers who have created this fake world, this illusory world that they're trying to draw us into. And this world goes against the very laws and the principles of nature. The true God, the most high God, the principles of nature, the principles of the universe, whatever terminology you choose to use, that God, that being, that consciousness that exists is harmonious with us in our true state. And so we live longer, we live happier. The body is less stressed out. We have happier relationships. We live in harmony with one another and in harmony and in balance with nature. But we've let the psychopaths take over the asylum. We let the demiurge become the rulers of the world without calling him out for being a fake god. So we got these fake gods dictating what's going to happen in our world. And the first mission of the fake god is to destroy the true children of the Most High. The true children of the Most High have to die and suffer at the hands of the fake God because we the only ones who are aware of who the real God is. We the only ones who are aware of who the true God is and the true principles of nature. So those who are awakened, soon as you awaken, you put yourself in harm's way. You put yourself in harm's way, and individuals want to obliterate you and destroy you because you know that they are not God. You know that they liars. So what do? They defame you. They call us conspiracy theorists. They call us crazy. They mock us, demonize us. Some people have lost their jobs for speaking the truth. They get quote unquote canceled, right? Because we recognize the demiurge when we see him. And we're not afraid to tell the demiurge or the devil or the fake God to kiss our ass. So we put ourselves in a position where if they want to strike out against us or harm us, arrest us, suppress us, take down our social media pages. However, you got to remember that nature is extremely powerful. Nature, God, the universe is extremely powerful. And anything that goes against the principles of nature, we haven't created, and we don't have anything in this world powerful enough to go against the principles of nature and live. That's why certain individuals, you'll notice that they're being wiped out slowly but surely. We are in the midst of a cultural war with individuals trying to hold on to their last vestiges of power. They've killed the prophets, they've killed the revolutionaries, but now nature is sick of them and is wiping them out. And those individuals who don't want to adhere to the principles of nature, nature is going to strike back. You pollute the sky, okay, nature will rain down acid. You pollute the water, okay, nature is going to hit you with tsunamis, floods. Watch the weather. The minister always says, watch the weather. And you're going to see with your own eyes that anybody who goes against the laws and the principles of nature is going to have to suffer. Why? Because nature is the savior. Nature is the savior. The very fabric of reality, is going to be the savior of those who are the children of God. And I'm using these terms, children of God, most high God. I'm using these terms, and I know individuals are going to get a religious gleaning from it, but I don't want you to think about it in terms of religion. I don't follow a religion. We're talking about principles. We're talking about laws. We're talking about divinity. We're talking about levels of consciousness. And individuals who try to go against the supreme Lord of the universe, you're going to be punished. Simple as that. You can't twist the fabric of reality and think that everything is going to be okay. There's a limit. No matter how arrogant you are, nature has a limit. Your arrogance may not have a limit, but nature has a limit, and it's not going to let you exceed its limit. Nature's going to put you back in place. So when you start seeing more of these floods and famines, you're going to see food shortages. Things are going to get much, much worse because nature is saying enough is enough. And we're going to try to ignore it. We're going to try to distract ourselves. We're going to try to look the other way. We're going to continue down this path until it's too late. That's what Armageddon is. When you read the scriptures, it talks about Armageddon coming. What is Armageddon? Armageddon is simply the point in time in which nature has been pushed too far and must push back for the survival of those who are the children of God. You keep pushing the ocean, polluting the ocean. You keep pushing the earth. You keep polluting the air. You're pushing the boundaries of reality. Reality lives in a harmonious balance, and you try to push everything out of balance. Try to bend everything and distort everything and disseminate everything. And sooner or later, nature is going to respond and push back. And when it pushes back, that's Armageddon. That's Kali Yuga. That's the end. Eschatology, the end of history. Doesn't mean the end of the world, doesn't mean the end of all life, but things are inevitably going to change because you can't keep pushing this far without something pushing you back. You're not that powerful, you fake God, you fake demiurge, you fake devil demon. You're not that powerful. You think you're going to push against the principles of reality and nothing's going to happen to you? How arrogant could you be? That's not even hubris. That's beyond hubris. That's insanity. And you keep pushing. No matter how far you go, you keep pushing. Well, guess what? God will push back. Who you think you are? Have you seen the sun? As big and powerful as the sun is, its light covers the entire earth. It keeps everything on the earth alive. If the sun went away, everything on the planet would be dead in 18 minutes. Everything. But the sun is small compared to other stars in the universe. The sun is weak compared to a black hole. A black hole is weak compared to the power of the creator. Who do you think you are? What do you think you know? What do you think you know? That you think you could go against the very principles and the laws of nature and nothing's going to happen to you? You got to be insane. And anybody who follows this nonsense is a lunatic as well. You're following disharmony. You following the destruction of the family. You following the natural state of the man and the woman. Or you're going against the natural state of the man and the woman, forming families and protecting families. You against that? You want to be strong and independent? You want to be a fuck boy? You're gonna die too. You can't go, that's for everybody. You can't go against the principles of nature. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. The universe is going to push back. Hell, even before we even get to the universe pushing back, your body is going to push back. Your body is just a walking, talking piece of the universe. You are a conscious piece of reality itself. So if reality is going to push back against individuals who go against the principles of nature, it's going to push against you. Your very own body is going to push against you. That's why you see individuals getting sick, bodies falling apart, getting old early on, because you're going against the principles of nature, carrying disease, body rapidly deteriorating. Once you were beautiful and young, and now you look raggedy and old a few years later, because you're going against the principles and the laws of nature. Who the hell do you think you are? We talking about the reality of God. And the reality of God is God don't play. You better keep your hands off God's principles, keep your hands off God's people. Y'all think that this demiurge is God because he got some nuclear missiles and he got some power? He got some money, he got some resources. That don't make you God. When you see the real power of God, you stand in awe. I don't stand in awe of these psychopaths. These ain't nothing but a bunch of butchers and pedophiles to me. I'm not in awe of you. None of you. Because when all of this comes crumbling down and the children of God are here, living in harmony with nature, you're going to see what true divinity is. You know, there's an old song called Limo Wreck by Soundgarden. Chris Cornell sings it beautifully. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell. He says, "When the whole thing comes crashing down, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why when the whole thing comes crashing down. You're going against the principles of nature. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think all these scriptures are about? These scriptures are warning us and telling us it's all coming to an end. The hubris and the arrogance of this devil is coming to an end. I told y'all before about eternalism. We live life in three-dimensional space, so we see time happening from one moment to the next. We live in the eternal present. But for a divine being who sees things from a God perspective, you exist outside of time and space. So you see everything happening all at the same time, from start to finish. God already won. God is already victorious. You play your games if you want to. You join the dark side if you want to. You do whatever you want to do, but in the meantime, but understand we're not worried. The children of God are not worried because we understand in the long run, God wins. You're not older than the universe. You can't be older than the universe. You can't be older than the supreme. You can't be older than the creator. So your time is done. That's why you got to live in harmony with nature. And you got to first start by being in harmony with yourself. Get yourself right. And I'm not saying this to preach to anybody. We all got work to do. But you're not going to push against the fabric of reality and push against the principles of God and think you're going to survive the encounter. Just for the record, plot twist. Everything destroys. Everything dies. Everything that goes against God dies. Everything unnatural dies. Sea of ashes. That's what I call it. The sea of ashes. When you set fire to everything, burn everything. And the only things that are going to survive are the things that are real and eternal. Everything else is going to burn. And we will stand in the sea of ashes. And you'll see us, the children of God, alive and well. And I don't believe in death anyway. But the time is coming. Where the fuckery of the devil is gone. The time is coming where it's time for the principles and the laws of nature to finally push back. And they've been pushing back. They've been pushing back. People have been trying to downplay it. People have been trying not to discuss it. You know, we talk about certain things happening. For instance, my man Star, he sent me a video of some information about UFOs, certain things are happening and coming to pass. And when he sent me that video in a private message, they deleted it. They was like, "No, we're gonna delete this." That lets you know they're trying to suppress something, they're trying to hide something. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. You're not God. You are a demiurge, fake God. You created the world in its present state. You didn't create the universe. And you didn't create me. I'm self-created, like Amin Ra, the hidden one. Just like all the children of God. All the children of God are self-created. That's what it is to be a child of God. To make yourself in the image and likeness of God. That's being a child of God. That's being a son and a daughter of God. To live in harmony with the principles of nature, because the demiurge created an environment where we're not connected to our natural selves. So we have to be self-created. I could go on all night, but yo, shout out to my man Star once again. And shout out to everybody who's watching the video. I will be seeing y'all soon. Actually, I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow for our 11:11 class. So make sure you here. Make sure you here. Peace and blessings. I love y'all to life. I love y'all to death.